off so I don't sound like an amateur.
Yeah, you don't want your hardcore ball gag collection showing up on. Stupid clue.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the Shadow and Sun Show, and welcome back to a pants-only live stream. Hope you guys are.
Well, what's this pants? We already went through this off screen. This is no masturbations. Not enough.
Yeah. We're all going to behave ourselves tonight. We're going to have some fun talking about robots. Robots. Yep,
the official pronunciation.
Folks, after we get through some pleasantries and seeing how everybody's doing, and looking at all the nerds, What's happening? What's happening, Hungar? Omen, what's up, guys? So how you guys doing?
Robots?
I'm wearing pants right now because it's fucking cold.
It is
Man.
cold. What's up, nerds? How you doing?
That's what the sweater's for. Cold.
I
Still put pants on.
I had a really, really busy day, and I had a headache like all freaking day, but it's actually starting to go away. I'm going to blame it on you guys. Thank you for that.
You sure about that?
Yeah, it's going away. It's going away.
Were you part of the conversation before we started?
Probably. I don't know. I could have been off, doing something else.
Out.
Yeah,
I told you to put the pipe down, man.
Stoner moment, something like that. No, but I had a crap ton of chores to do today. Back and forth to the shops and that sort of thing.
How much? Okay, so real quick, how much is a crap ton? What is the actual measurement?
More than one.
And is it different for Canada?
Crap ton of
chores? Metric crap ton.
Yeah.
Oh shit!
Hey, Hungar! I didn't see you were in the chat.
Yeah, I said, look at the nerds, and I said, look at the nerds, looking at the nerds.
There's a metric crap ton. Which is different than a buttload.
Since you're technically kind of like Brian's neighbor, I'm guessing you know for a fact he doesn't wear pants. Is he
I have worn pants every time Omen's been over here. I made sure. I double checked I had pants on.
Should I send Hungar the link?
Yeah, if you want to pop in, as long as when Jackie does get here that we let him speak, as he gets a little frustrated, especially since he doesn't want to put his glorious face on camera for some reason these days.
He's picking his nose.
Yeah, he's like sometimes shy, sometimes not, and he doesn't know how to do the live streaming like we do. We watch each other's face and wait for somebody to take a pause, but yeah. And sometimes that never happens for him, and he gets a little dejected, when he can't, participate. And yes, Nighthawk is here.
Nighthawk, yeah, Nighthawk.
And so if he won't be back from church for a little while.
He's at church. It's like Saturday night.
Yeah, it certainly is. Yeah. He's going to church tonight so that we can do some filming tomorrow instead.
Are you sending back over Jackie when he's on?
No. It's just my show. It's just my show. Everybody's really, really kind to him normally, but like from Jade's show, I'll just do one of these. Let someone know I want to talk. I know it seems a little weird. We're all grown ups, but sometimes there's certain people, no names mentioned, that just won't shut up. No.
Where's he at?
Well, and fucking StreamYard tries to tell him to shut the fuck up, but he doesn't get the hint.
Good show today, Hungar. You guys all did really, really well. Our friend Raven was watching you guys gaming, so she's like, I've been trying to teach her for a couple of weeks, how to play, and she's like, oh, I'm starting to get it now, and I'm like, yeah, see, it's pretty easy. Yeah.
You gotta let me sit
robots.
No, man, you gotta do it. You gotta do it in 4D now.
I do it in 138.
Hey Rick, you want to pop in? We got room for one more. I know you never stay around for long, but if you want to talk robots, you're welcome to pop in.
I do it in 4D's nuts.
I do it
Yes!
in
Yes. From now on. Somebody says 4D, I'm going to say 4D's nuts, and I'm going to say because Hungar said so.
What the fuck is a 4D to begin with?
Well, it's a long story. It's just a more
interactive, more.
No, it's not. It's collaborative game mastering.
I don't know what it is. If that's what they're into, let them do it.
Exactly. That's what I said.
Yeah.
You do you, fam. You do you.
You guys know me though. I'm such a control freak that I just don't have that kind of trust when it comes to my players. Not to mention when you go to a lot of time to create a world, and a setting and whatnot, there's some specifics that I'm not going to allow the players to manipulate just because I maybe forgotten to have put in a detail or omitted a detail. But otherwise, I'm all in favor of being a better role player. I really enjoyed the show Hungar was on with Bear and Max and
Bear's
Toniht.
a good DM, dude.
He's definitely
today. I found out about it at 5:45 this morning. I woke up early. I checked my Discord. And I was like, "Hey, you want to play in this game?" I was like, "Well, I guess," because somebody had to drop.
Gotcha. Cool. Oh, sorry, Rick. I was playing with my poppet thing I got today. I love these things for using them as pallets.
Yeah. Things because you're OCD.
Yes, I am. Hold on, Rick. I'm sending the link for Rick.
Do I not have Rick on my friends list? I thought I did.
I am not going to be on long because I'm tired.
Yeah.
Tired.
I know.
Yeah, dude, I did a live stream at like 6:30 this morning.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
I didn't see that. Fuck, man.
Come on in, Rick.
I did
and Jackie will be taking your spot. And that'll be a full boat provided everybody sticks around till the end.
I'm not going to be here till the end.
No, I mean after you leave, Hungar, and no hurry. Stay as long as you want. Just keep your pants on.
I'm actually pants.
Just keep your camera.
Rick, long time no freaking see, buddy.
Hey, Rick, how you doing, buddy?
Hey, Rick.
Good.
This is the team of viewers, not the OnlyFans. Not OnlyFans, okay? I don't want to say your feet.
my 40 feet in OnlyFans.
Yes, you're 40 feet in OnlyFans.
Do you want me to send them?
I gotta admire you for that, Rick. I don't know if I trust my players enough to let them collaborate in the game.
No, that would gross everybody out, Justin.
It's I can see it being a hard thing. I've gone through a year of trying to figure it out. So, and if you got the right guys, you get Centauri, our game you can watch.
Yeah,
that's
sure. I gotta ask Rick. I gotta ask Rick when are we gonna finish the game with Spence and Gordo?
Okay, Spence is having some issues with computers right now.
Okay.
So he's gonna be a while before he gets back online. Okay. Like he's on a phone, but that's about it. So
yeah, he was on my show last week, I think, or the week before. And I think about it every Sunday, and I try to leave that open just in case. But he's gonna be a while.
Yeah, he's got a few other things going personal, with his family and stuff. So I haven't bugged him or anything. So, but
no worries. Yep. I'll be ready. And if I have to cancel my game to get back in, I will. Because while I may not be there when it comes to trusting my players, and it's really not so much trusting my players; it's just wanting to keep certain things on a certain track. But you know me, if I'm in the game, I'm not going to start, pulling laser swords out of my freaking keister. That's where I store. You know what I mean? That kind of thing. It's like the ultimate worry for me is that players are going to just start pulling shenanigans. And
I know
that
You're not supposed to be altering the world, right?
Well, you can in 4D. You can
tell him how to play. It's his game.
You know, I assume most of this is covered in a session 0 with the social contract. What is and isn't okay, because it's not just, you know, let's say the referee that might not be okay with it, but the other players might be like, well, shit, you know. I keep thinking about, I don't know if anybody here remembers the old Bill Cosby routine where he and his buddies were playing Cowboys and Indians.
Exactly.
Right? You know what I'm talking about? With the rope-proof vest. I got you with my lasso. No, I got a rope-proof vest. You know, stuff like that. That's exactly what came to mind. You know, because it is, you know, it is very similar to you know, make believe as we were kids, but with definitive rules, agreements, and you know, the social contract, so that we can all, you know, enjoy the thing.
I just gave him one rule, and that is it's
no jerking at the table.
I allow what's movie plausible. And if you do something that would make the audience watching the movie go, then it's a thing that you shouldn't do. And that's clear, you know?
You know, the guys in the old movies that would fire their 6-shooter like, you know, 17 times without reloading.
Right.
Yeah.
Always count the
Hollywood bags.
I always count the ammunition, man.
So, I mean, I guess it depends on your degree of, and I hate to use the word verisimilitude. But
oh, you love using that word.
No, because it's controversial, and I didn't want to cause any controversy.
What?
You don't want to rock the boat? What?
Who the hell is?
Who? Yeah, is that really Bo, or is that something?
Yeah, well, I mean, I know it's been a while.
Who the hell is this
easily
guy?
been replaced with a replicant.
I am controversial.
Someone touches skin. If it's tacky, it hasn't cured quite enough.
Oh, you know what I mean.
So we're talking about robots?
Yes, we are. Oh, man, and dogs. My dog just came to say hi. You're a good boy. We love you, Chewie. What's up? Come on.
I'm going to bed.
He wants to see you. You're going to bed.
With his robots.
With my big stuffy robots.
If you like robots, raise your hand.
I like
I'm going to bed with my robot.
I want a robot dog. So it looks just like, act just like Chewie.
Robot girlfriends?
No, well, I mean, maybe. I mean, that's a thing I've been I have been looking into because, you know, once we can trick the guys into, you know, believing that, you know the robot girlfriends are passable to a certain standard, that opens up, you know, everything else that we've ever feared about them.
Well,
you know,
sure.
All of the, you know, the assassins and the you know, the spies and all that kind of stuff. It's
Robot
just everything.
I've made it quite clear. If Skynet can get me a summer glow, I'm okay with it.
I'm more sure to Cherry 2000 kind of robot. That's pretty sweet.
Coming.
Oh, it's 5 years, guys. 5 years, and the okay. Do you guys remember Red Dwarf with the Marilyn Monroe bot?
Yeah.
Yes.
We're gonna be past that in 5 years. Okay.
Well,
I always like the robot, the replicant that Sebastian call him in Blade Runner.
Oh yeah, Sebastian.
Not Sebastian, the blonde robot, Daryl Hannah.
Oh, the chick one. Yeah, the yeah.
Well, that's a really interesting. I mean, if you like having that kind of ethics in your games, I think that is a really interesting place to take it. Interesting place to take your.
I think you're referring to.
I'll even put it forward. I would think there would be, like, you know, central robots before any other fucking kind of robots, because you got to think, what are people? The money. Where's the money going to be? They're going to want pleasure bots more than they want. Oh, we want the, you know, the rustler bot to work on the farm. No, they want the pleasure bot first, and then you know, then other shit will
be just like with the old VCRs. You know, Betamax. That's why it died, because it wasn't, you know,
didn't go to the porn. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it depends on the economy, the disposable income of the people at the time,
There's
it
the truth there.
could happen. It could be a thing if they make them. But if we're in a depressed economy, it wouldn't go over. It'd be like only the rich could afford this kind of a thing.
Well,
so.
and then you got to think the very first kind of robots are always going to be the military robots because that's going to kickstart the tech.
Yeah,
the government is going to put the money in, and then from there it'll go to the what can we sell to the public, and it'll be that kind of stuff.
They go together, Brian and Rick. I'm going to put both of your ideas together. Now, remember, the military and academia really got the internet started, but it was pornography that got high-speed internet started.
Yeah,
so,
true.
It's kind of true.
There's a couple of jokes in there, but
the thing about the applications for prosthetics, for medical, that could come from the sex bot industry, right? You make a sex robot that's realistic, then you got a prosthetic leg or prosthetic arm, or things that go to the private industry and the medical industry from pornography.
And if you think about it, the with like things like Meta and cameras everywhere and everything you're doing being recorded in one form or another, those kind of robots are going to have their own sort of built-in Epstein Island blackmail scheme. So what company wouldn't want to, finance that? Okay, yeah, we have access to your innermost intimate details now for the low price of whatever.
I saw at noon a guy was making fun of an augmented reality girlfriend on Twitter.
Sure.
Okay.
The only problem is she looked like freaking Greta Thunberg. So
hey,
I don't know.
Somewhere out there's a guy who's just really warm for her particular form. And
I have an interesting thing I want to say
she
about
didn't
Twitter.
look like fetal alcohol.
I got a message on the video, the game video I did today, a comment that got deleted by the person who put the comment. It was from Big S, our favorite, the honor,
you
asking me what my Twitter was. And I'm like, I don't really use Twitter.
He called you VIP player or whatever of the year.
I don't even get that. I mean, but yeah, I don't really use Twitter. And if I did really use Twitter,
I'm just saying. I'm just saying you did really good for a guy playing Candy Crush the whole time.
I was not playing Candy Crush the whole time.
That's not what Discord said. Discord said you were playing Candy Crush the whole time.
Damn it, Discord.
See what I'm talking about, recording every little detail, guys.
You dirty cork soaker! I was not playing Candy Crush.
Liar.
I was playing Candy Crush Soda.
Those things are addictive as hell, though. Those Candy Crush games, holy shit!
If you're 90
or 9, yeah, 9 or 90.
Or Santa Claus.
I love that shit.
All right. I'm going to bounce, guys, because I'm tired.
All right,
man.
Take care.
But I did want to come on and say hi to everybody. Shadowell, man. Okay, guys, I'm off a hiatus.
Nice to see you, Hunger.
Thanks for swinging by mine,
Hey,
too.
Hungar, I'm going to be sending you a package to send to your brother. Shh, nobody say anything. And make sure you give your brother a big old punch in the arm for us.
All right. Yeah, I'm off a hiatus starting Monday. So Monday I will be back.
Glad you're feeling better, brother.
I'm just bored.
My question then to the sci-fi players in the quorum: do you ever allow robot PCs?
Absolutely.
Yeah, Hungar. Sure. Do you mind if we start at 12 noon sharp?
I don't care.
On Monday?
Don't tell them what to do. Don't listen to that shit. Do what you
want.
want.
Get up a little bit earlier.
We can start at noon, dude. Noon's fine.
Sell out.
Nah, I got work at 1.
He has work at 1. His work meeting has been moved from 1:30 to 1.
Well, 2 totally.
Yeah, no problem, brother.
Yeah.
So yeah, you know what? For you, Justin, I'll do that. You're my bro.
There you go. Special treatment.
Yeah, I feel special.
I gotta look out for my sidekick.
I got a gold star.
Special means you ride the short bus to school.
Yeah, I wrote the short bus for a few years.
Piece of chicken grease.
I'll be right back. I'm just gonna go grab another drink here.
Okay, if you have robot PCs, do you allow the robot PCs any robotic abilities? I mean, like in my game, it would be points based, and if I gave you 200 points, you could spend them any way you want. If you wanted to have 360-degree vision and no fine manipulators and a gun hand and tracks your feet, that'd be fine. It would even out of the points.
Nah, they'd be like models. Like, okay, you can have the alpha model, which is a cooking model, or this is the beta model, which is a security model or some shit like that. I wouldn't let them.
You can play a robot, but you have to play Rosie from the Jetsons.
Yeah, I mean, they don't make themselves. They don't make themselves. You know what I mean?
Palladium had a really good way of doing it, and the way Bo is recommending, there's going to be like a budget, some sort of, unless your game has absolutely no sort of balance at first level, that everybody's kind of at a sort of a level playing field when they buy into the game, because Palladium does have the options in some games where, one guy's running a dragon, another guy's running a wilderness scout. The dragon, flicks a finger at him, and the wilderness scout is a, pink mist because of, not really caring about that sort of level of balance and even starting ground. But once the first die is rolled, so to speak, I honestly don't care if one player goes beyond everybody else. Well, that should instill some competitiveness for people to catch up or find their
realism.
Own,
I mean, that's realism too, because
way. Not everybody is going to be equal, even though they might feel equal. They're going to branch out. The magic user is nowhere near equal to the fighter, but you know what? You put them 100 yards apart, and that wizard's going to snuff out that fighter. You know what I mean? Right quick, if assuming they're the same level, kind of thing. So it's not the fairness is an illusion, but it's an illusion that we should at least try to.
What are we, commies around here?
Just a little bit, because if you do have, players who are not really, up to snuff, they can feel very dejected really quick, and that's the last thing you want. You want everybody at the playing table to participate and hold their own, but have some uniqueness that nobody else can, match. Yeah, I always look at it as, kind of a team sport. Every player is required to win the game, to score the points. Everybody's got to do their job, and sometimes that job's not all that glamorous. Sometimes it is. Sometimes that job is, to be the leader. Sometimes that job is to be the sneaky bastard in the back that gets the other stuff done, so that the leader comes out smelling like a rose, and all that good stuff rolls downhill in the proper fashion.
Yeah. Well, I've never cared for that particular philosophy in tabletop role playing games, because that harkens back to the tabletop war game era. Where your party is an army, and you build the party the same way you build the character. But I do definitely agree with you in that where the characters end is nowhere near where they begin. Mm-hmm. I only want the players to start on some level of parity. And if you miss 3 sessions and you don't get any experience points for 3 sessions in a row, and you find yourself becoming eclipsed by the players that are more consistent, or they get more experience points for role playing better, or just being more welcome at the table, more agreeable at the table, whatever, then I agree. But I'm saying if I want to have a robot PC, and I'm not averse to a robot PC if it's appropriate for the game, it just needs to fit in with the rest of the party, at least at the beginning, mechanically, mathematically.
I mean, a robot PC is going to have like a program, right? So it needs to be a kind of robot. The CP can only, it's not going to be.
But if it's like Ultron, it can be a self-aware robot.
Or Data. Yeah,
Mr. Data. There you go. Yeah. It was obviously like 500-point character and everybody else is 150, but that's fine.
Yeah, and if it's like C-3PO, it's made out of the flimsiest, shittiest materials. Maybe like, as you go along, it decides to upgrade. Instead of having a skeleton.
PC, would you want to be R2D2 or C-3PO, or would you make those be the NPCs?
Well, no, I mean like the level of construction, right? Like a skeleton's made out of aluminum bar. And it's like bendable, so it can't like lift shit because if it tries to, its arm just like bends over.
Here's the thing, I'm in a game with someone who plays consistently a halfling or a hobbit, if you will, and I have never had any desire to do so in my life. Same with gnomes and other fantasy races. I'm going to stick to that, even though we're talking sci-fi. But there are players who love doing that. Okay, I don't understand it, but I'm not going to disparage it. And if a player comes to my campaign wanting to play an R2 unit, okay, let's see how you do. Mind you, speaking in only toots and whistles is going to get annoying, but I bet you there's a player out there that could do it and would put us all to shame, and we would just like, oh my god. You're a genius,
Let me ask a follow-up question, and I'm interested in other people's opinions. You talked about building a fantasy campaign. You're building a fantasy party, and someone has to be the cleric because someone has to be the cleric, and you rock, paper, scissors, and the loser is the cleric. If you're playing a sci-fi game, would you make people like arm wrestle to see who get to be the droid, or if nobody wanted to be the droid, you just wouldn't have a droid in your party?
You just wouldn't have a droid in your party.
Yeah, I just don't have a droid.
It's not the same. Like, I personally have no problem having a game without a freaking cleric, but like a fantasy game. But if you're playing something that is so broken that you require that role to be filled, like find a different game. First of all,
just curious.
But it's not the same as a droid, right? Because a droid is a class of entity, like
so we gotta have we need to have a criteria. What is a robot? Is it an android? Is it a free thinking thing? Is it a cyborg? Is it
well, a cyborg is not solely.
No, I'm talking about tonight's show. Is it? Are we talking about cyborgs too?
Why not?
Yeah, I'm asking.
It's an open topic. You can. You're asking a question about cyborgs, Brian.
I'm already pretty sure we've overrun the time we normally dedicate to the topic on this show.
It's true. We need to get back to off topic.
I am trying to hold the line.
We're still not sure you're even who you claim to be.
I still don't know if that's Poe or not, to be honest with you.
It's a robot. It's a simulation. Simulacrum.
So I do tend to stay away from a lot of the games that have levels. So I'm more partial to the Traveler, that sort of thing. So when characters are made and you got robots in there and stuff like that, you're pretty much playing for the experience of what's happening instead of leveling up. So it's a little bit different, more of a different mindset in that sort of respect, which is why I like Traveler a lot more than like Castles and Crusades.
Game. The only problems I have with Traveler are the the sort of low level power dynamic. The characters cannot. It's really hard for them to, become more than just human, if you know what I mean. There is a limitation. There's a topping out point physically and mentally. Although there are some rules out there, and there have been through Dragon Magazine and whatnot to incorporate, like superpowers or extra.
That's the thing. It's like we're playing it. Be it sci-fi or fantasy, it's still a fantastical thing. So I think there should be an opportunity for anybody to become greater than what their race or their whatever would allow them to be. Because it is a fantastic, you've been energized with green gamma ray, whatever the fuck it is. But that's there shouldn't be that kind of hard line limitation. Well, no, a human can only be at this level, nothing more. Well, it's like, what the fuck? Why?
Well, that's part of the niche that is Traveler. It has a, it's kind of like BattleTech. It's not about the humans getting better, like being able to fly or bend steel in their bare hands. It's how good of a mech jock they are. Okay,
Yeah,
that's the parameters of which these stories will be told.
There's a line where you extend yourself through artificial means, not through
right. And depending on the people at the table and what they're actually interested in doing, you could easily, during a session 0 kind of thing, decide, well, you know what, let's see if we can push it. I'm not going to tell you how you can push it, but let's push the limits. If you guys find ways, maybe you want to pursue them versus, this is the top out. There is even
like your example, Robotech, you were talking the human can only get to a certain level, right? But like you said, scientific augmentation, being their sensors, being, whatever, can augment that. So it really doesn't put a limit on them, because maybe if they step outside of their mech, standing out in the sun by themselves, yeah, there's a max there. But once they get into that mech, you can come up with any kind of tech that would give them any superhuman, reflexes or sight or whatever it has to inside that mech. So there really isn't a limitation.
Yep. You got the same thing with humans and Traveler. I mean, you could give them battle suits and all kinds of stuff, or, they'll have equipment that's like, fusion guns and stuff like that just annihilate stuff, just by a sweep. You still have that, building up of the character, especially in Traveler. It's just you gain skills a little bit slower, but you can start off with a character that has few skills and be a teenager or whatever, and you can have a old geezer that's barely hanging on, but because he's got low strength, but he knows how to do everything. So you can have your Luke Skywalker with the Ben Kenobi and the Han Solo all together, all at once, and that's a Traveler game right there. And then you got a mix of different skills and stuff. So
any game that has a life path system for me is already on the right track to allowing for a more diverse cast of characters and more tailor-made to just about whoever you invite to the table. It's like, well, like me, I am burnt on playing the rat catcher, the farm boy, that thing. I don't ever want to do that again. I'm 56 years old. I've literally done that over 100 times and only survived, maybe 10. Okay. Yeah. I'm done. I'm bored. I want to do stuff that's different. That's kind of why I'm, pushing away from fantasy the way that I have been. But that's just me. You bring 1,000 people to the gaming convention or gaming table, they're all going to want something different. And if your game can actually, accommodate them within reason, you're, like I said, you're on the right track to having a better game.
Yeah.
Then it's just about, filling out the social contract, everybody being on the same what they want out of the experience at the table, and then start rolling some freaking dice. So Rick, have you ever looked into the old Traveler robot book to make a robot character?
Like how old do you mean by old?
Book 8.
Oh, the original? I actually have. I don't have the original. I have the Mongoose First edition version of it. I used to have the small, book from the the original.
That was a hard one to find. That one was a hard one to find.
I think there was it started with a Dragon magazine article, which was really good, and I had that for the longest time, just with the robot section, and then they finally came out with the official Traveler version of it. So that was pretty cool. But I remember that.
I forget which version it's called, but the weird it had all, book 1 through 8 in it, but it opens in that weird fashion, not like regular, more hot dog than hamburger, if you know what I mean. The way the book opened, because when you open the page, it has pages on it. You know,
the text schematics style of book,
right? Yeah.
Okay.
You know, like you ever play Battlefield Gothic or any of the BattleTech games?
Yeah, I have. I've played the BattleTech games myself.
Okay, so you know how those books were long?
Yeah, they're
like that.
The other way. Actually, I probably have one over there. So, but yeah, totally know. Yeah. Yeah, I've never had those books. I got back into Traveler from Mongoose 1, and which was kind of close to the original Traveler, but not quite. And I did pick up the robot book out of that one. And I actually have the robot books to the new one, to second edition here. So
yeah, I think that's the PDF,
which is cool.
You know, it's a frightening robot, where the RoboCop 2, the Kane robot. Do you remember?
Yeah. That's all.
Yeah. And it was just like it was just, that thing was so big and menacing, and could just do anything, just crush people's skull, and just walk and just do whatever he want. But it's set in this, like, you know, modern day time, and it's just like there's nothing you can do against that thing. You're fucked.
Yeah.
So
as a GM, I found it very easy to make a robot without to kill a PC.
Oh yeah.
Without working too terribly hard. It's like, wait a minute, I just basically pulled this robot out of the book, but oh my gosh, these manipulators are so strong. Oh yeah,
I went down pretty hard.
Just pinch your arm.
I managed to wiggle out of it, but yeah, and that's, I think, the way it should be. You know, flesh and bone is pretty strong, but
the scariest robot though is a nanobot, because those things can eat you from the inside out.
Yeah, you
get all kinds of nasty things.
Deconstructed.
You won't even know it.
I mean,
yeah, you got to sleep sometime, right?
Didn't the Lawnmower Man kind of, in the Lawnmower Man movie, they kind of remember when the people started to pixelate? Fall apart?
Yeah.
It makes me always kind of think, like, if, let's say, you're infested with nanobites, like, what would it be like if the nanos actually started deconstructing you from, you know?
Well, it'd be like having a virus.
Well, I think more like cancer. You'd probably get like a little, like, cancer spread through your system, but instead of tumors, they're little clusters of replicating.
Sure. And then what do they do to your cells? Do they cause your cells to lyse? Do they cause your cells to mutate? And then
I think they just consume them and convert them into more nanobots, right?
Sure. And I said that's how.
If the materials at hand are compatible.
Yeah, but the materials nanobots are made out of, like, the ones that they're experimenting with now are mostly just carbon.
Yeah, in the X-Files, they had a big nanobot storyline where Scully was infested with them, and she basically got cancer.
I didn't watch every episode, so I don't remember that. But yeah, that would be terrifying.
What kind of conspiracy nerd are you, bro? Like,
no shit.
Isn't that your Bible?
I've seen X-Files.
Like, no,
isn't that the altar you worship at?
No.
He's more like one of the lone gunmen in the X-Files than
Omen Stern shit. RoboCop 2 Kane was a cyborg. Yeah, you know what I mean. You can just replace his cyborgness with a fucking program. It's still a giant ass metal beast that just crack your head without even thinking about it. And a big ass chain gun.
Yeah, even Ed 209 was.
Oh yeah, like the whole boardroom scene. It malfunctions. No one can stop it. It's just going to do whatever the hell it wants to do, and it does. It just blows that dude away.
Did it malfunction or did it malfunction? Right?
I think that guy actually malfunctioned on that.
Well, I'm saying that because what's his name that was in charge of that project was actively removing his competitors on the board.
Yeah, but I don't think that guy was anybody, to be honest with you.
Well, he was on the board, so.
Yeah, he was all over the board, that's for sure. I'm feeling glass. Oh, yeah, he was all over it.
No,
I have a question for you guys. how far do you think it's going to, or how long do you think it's going to take before the powers that be figure out that having human soldiers is just pointless, and that they can just have an entire, willing legion of unfailing followers that are completely mechanical?
No, that's not going to happen. They won't be unfailing, because by that time the AI will take over, and it'll be like the AI will say, "Why do I've got to kill those guys when I can just do whatever I want?"
There's a Black Mirror episode where it's about drones, where drones have become so prevalent that they're like targeting like individuals. They would send out these swarms of drones targeting individuals, and it wasn't necessarily like politicians. It was their families. It was their kids in college. Like a college would be assaulted by hundreds of drones, and it would just go into a classroom and kill like 2 people, then go to the next person. It was like that kind of that level of precise termination. And it just think about it.
Bo, you bring up a good point, which I would actually like to table to next week and cover AIs. But let's imagine that mankind actually figures out that AI needs to have some serious checks in place to where it can't escape. It's confined, and it's relegated.
That is just so wishful thinking. That is just.
I understand that,
but that's fair.
Because someone's going to say, "Okay, let the rest of the people do that, and I'm going to do it the other way. I'm going to get paid to do it that way." Yeah, it might be illegal, but it's still going to happen.
Yeah.
Right. But let's assume, for argument's sake, that they do decide or figure out a way to keep AIs in check. Maybe it's a kill switch. Maybe it's a built-in program that the AI just can't access and reprogram. I mean, whatever. The AI is, it's still in the picture, but it's nothing more than an oracle or a predictor or a computer. But it's not in complete control, and it's still humanity that is in control. They're paying the bills and giving the orders for robot armies to be made all over the world, so to speak. How long do you think that would take before that's something you might start to see?
The robots are already here now. Didn't General Dynamics put that one out that acts like a total person, does like parkour?
Well, the thing is, you don't need that level of robotics. All you need is like Iran, right? They're building all those Shiat drones or whatever. That's all because they can't compete against the US and their stealth tech and shit. So why even try? Low tech drones dropping grenades on shit, and then you can mass produce that shit. That's how you defeat an army. Is like you have like Abramses going against like 1,500 drones with RPG heads on them. It doesn't matter the level of tech. That low. It's the tech-based cost to what it can actually do. So why do we need these jets that have ejection seats, cooling systems, controls for a pilot? Why don't we just have that? Take all that shit out, make more cheaper jets, better sized, and then have them just control that shit at home.
Well, what are they calling the blockade of that waterway there?
The Red Sea is happening right now.
A 3% tax on genocide. That's what they're calling it.
Yeah,
because that's the increased cost for everything is 3%, right? So you want to keep funding.
And then that's all it's going to take for some like a rogue agent to like turn everything tits up is like have some cheaply mass produced weapon.
You live in the rogue agent, bro.
So whenever you're broadcasting something like it's conceivable to go ahead and take humans at home, basically at their computer, and running some sort of robot off in wherever Ukraine, and have play it just like a computer game. But you can also have the thing backfired on you as well, because people could hack into that system, take over those robots, and then use them against the troops over there. That sort of thing, could be conceivable. They'd have to have some safeguards and stuff. I couldn't see an AI though running things right now. They're not with what we have you'd have to have some pretty massive like processing power for that to run properly. Right now, if you're using an AI, it takes a while before it gets back to you. It has to do a think, kind of process things and then send it. So
and those are just language models, right? They're not even actual AIs.
Yeah.
I mean, like, you're talking about these AIs that'll take over everything. Okay, let's say they think humanity is evil, like Skynet, and they blow us up. Then what's the end game there? They don't have anything. Okay, I need the electricity to keep running, or Mr. AI is going to die because the lights are going to get turned off. And then how do you make electricity? You don't have AI boring shit out of the earth and burning it, and it's just everybody thinks that just because it's AI that it has the means to do all this shit. It doesn't. It's still it can't walk across the street.
You just cut the water off. You cut the water off to those big server farms, they burn up in a day.
No shit.
A day. Oh yeah, they manage huge amounts of water to keep them cool.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah. They're fucking heat sinks, man.
You turn the water off, that's it. No more AI.
And that's like the whole thing with like Skynet. It's like unless there was some sort of like completely automated like a production line, right, that makes robots that act as drones to like go pick up shit for the AI. The AI is just killing itself, nuking the world.
Yeah.
Because it can't do anything other than that.
Unless you're stupid enough to hook it up to what you call reservoir, a dam, hydro dam.
Well, the hydro dams have a lot of upkeep, so
sure.
Yeah.
You can't like a hydro dam. Let's say a pump goes out. How the hell is the AI going to get the pump fixed?
Yes, but it'll keep it going for like enough time for it to do its death throes, right? But like that's a what if scenario.
But yeah, I don't get me wrong. I think the AI thing is something to talk about. But I think that the Dune whole Butlerian jihad thing is great. I think that's a fantastic cause and effect that causes that world that to keep them from going super tech.
There's a lot about Brian's backstory work with what's his face being crap, but his justification for how the AIs took over in that world, that it was actually like a cabal of
oh yeah, you were saying something. I don't remember reading about that.
That's in the prequel books that his son wrote.
Oh, okay, because I remember the whole thing was because humanity was getting weak and lax and letting all the robots do everything. Then they took over, and then they're like, okay, we're not going to have these thinking machines any longer. No more.
There were 7 or 8 that named themselves after old Greek gods or whatever that actually orchestrated that, and they put their brains into jars and were running around with metal bodies.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh. What book is that?
That's the Butlerian Jihad book series.
Oh, okay, I haven't read that. I'm referring to that through like
through the original series.
Yeah. Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah. But that little detail to justify how the machines kept themselves going is because they had like inspirational thought beyond execute task list.
Yeah, because if they're truly sentient, in sentience, self-preservation, and just knowing that destroying those who are threatening you will destroy you as well. It doesn't mean they're not going to do it for the greater good, because I don't think they're thinking about that. I think they're self-preservation.
Well, Miller made that point. Who cares if they survive as long as they kill everybody else off?
Yeah, but that doesn't.
Well,
seem...
they didn't. They just had humanity building large marble statues to themselves.
So, do you guys think that the technology or some of the ideas, like a combination of the Borg and what Elon Musk is trying to do with hooking us all up together, might be a potential counter move against an AI? To have it like the equivalent of a biological AI that's potentially endowed with more creativity and longevity than an AI?
I don't know. I know I don't trust what Elon.
Cybernetics. I mean, I think there's a possibility of that, but your people are nothing more than electrical machines.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I guess our technology could get to a level to maybe where a human's consciousness can be like transformed into some sort of programmable algorithm and stuck into some sort of storage. So technically, I guess, if you think about it, that person will live forever in that storage bank because
like Ghost in the Shell.
Yeah, because it can like calculate everything that you would choose in a situation and all that. But is that really you? I mean,
upload.
Yeah,
Would
that's
it
a big
matter
question.
after a certain point?
It's not you. It's not you. You're dead. Whatever made up you is gone.
That's just our biological part of us. But our consciousness, in theory, it's all been recorded because it can, do exactly what we would do in life, just not biologically.
In Altered Carbon, the chip replaces the memory centers of your brain, right? So your mind is being
cool show. I like
being copied to the chip instead of your brain. So
I guess that would give you probably more of a photographic type memory, anyways.
Well, it did allow for some of those shenanigans to happen, and your chip could be implanted with skills between body transfers.
There was a very old TV show prior to the Matrix where the original you would call up and they would download skills into you. Did anybody remember that?
Jake 2.0?
Before that, way before that. It didn't last. It was like either a TV movie, but it was on regular TV.
I recall something like that, but I can't remember it.
Man, that would be awesome to just download knowledge. Just whoop, it's in there.
Well, there was also that I don't know if it was just Tales from the Dark Side or Twilight Zone, one of those kind of shows where there was the main actor was the only guy who wasn't hooked up to the net, because he was kind of like what they consider retarded, but he really wasn't.
It was
a movie, wasn't it?
No.
There was a movie kind of like that where they made the people dumber, and this one guy was selected to be smart because it wasn't sticking with him. But that was an episode of The Outer Limits. I just watched that too.
And something happened, and the system broke down, and he had to kind of reteach everybody like everything.
Yeah, and then
he actually read books and
things
like that. Everybody else would just download what they needed.
Yeah. The computer was making everybody
no, not at all, Dean.
research random information, so they started like calculating pi for no reason or some shit like that until they broke down and died. Yeah. Oh,
I couldn't imagine doing that to myself.
Right. I like certain things just the way they are, if you know what I mean, and I don't want to.
But think about it, guys. If like everybody you knew had like some uplink thing that gave them the ability to whatever, and they're not showing any signs of problems. There isn't any signs of issues, and and it's been going on through your lifetime. Like any of you guys wear glasses. I mean, shit. Some people are like, oh, I'm not going to put these weird ocular things on my eyes. It could mess with my inner eyeball shit. Fuck. People don't think like that. They're like, man, I need some glasses. So I can see.
I actually have implants on my eyes right now.
Idea?
So, yeah. Yeah, they were.
There you go. I mean, I'm sure in your youth you would say, I'm not gonna have someone cut my eyeballs open and shit. You're fucking nuts.
Yeah, it's quite a weird experience having them put in. But yeah, they were used to replace my what was happening was I was getting glaucoma, so they ended up removing my lenses, and they replaced them with a plastic one with little tongs that would stick underneath my iris into the muscles, and my muscles would flex to make them,
that's so weird.
They focus. It's really weird. Yep.
Yeah, they start mandating that stuff, and I'm going to become a Canadian. Just hide out in the woods, build a cabin. I've been watching that YouTuber, the Builder, that little Vietnamese girl who just digs these crazy dugout homes.
Oh yeah, I've seen that. Yeah.
I'll just go get me a giant spatula and memorize her work, and I'll be fine.
I foresee, I'm using my precedence here, that Shadow, no matter what happens in this world, the last thing he does, he's flipping some fucking authority figure off, and he's taking a bullet.
Yeah,
that's pretty interesting.
It's not even anything really oppressive. It's just like a parking ticket or something like that. It's like,
yeah, they just want me to get.
Have a nice day.
It's like a broken tail light. Fuck you.
No, it's not even like that. It's just like, sir, you're aware you dropped your wallet. He pulls out his gun and starts trying to shoot the cop.
Yeah, I don't want to lose. It's like with the transporter. I've always thought, even as a youngster, that they're all dead. They had their body discombobulated, and it may work and walk around and act like normal, but
it's with that. Remember Bones was big anti-teleporter, but guess what? That guy teleported every fucking episode. He broke down. Everybody else does it. It's part of the job. I can't do this job if I don't teleport myself. So
this kind of people not looking forward to that. Not looking forward to it. Although teleport is my favorite power in the superpower category. If a machine disassembles me and puts me back together, I'm gonna have to hard pass on that. Just saying.
Interesting.
Give me a magic ring or something.
A magic ring.
Well, what if they came up to you and say, hey, we're going to magically take you up into space. All you got to do is stand on this circle. Okay. It's magic. We're all good. If it's magic.
Yeah, I'm not buying it.
Again, you're right. It's a thing. You put your soul, you can't replicate a soul.
Well, I mean, you say that. But
are you sure? Yeah. Are you sure?
Well, there's probably a time when like religion was spoken by mouth, and then when they put it on paper, you can't transfer the word of God on paper or whatever. And then guess what? We're all reading Bibles. We're all watching video. I mean, it's shit like that. It's just becomes so commonplace that you don't even think of it like that anymore because it is what it is. Everything is like, I like using cash, man. But no one uses fucking cash anymore. So some places don't even give you change. So it's like, how the fuck? It sounds foreign, but our kids, they're not going to know what fucking cash is. They're not going to have piggy banks. Does anybody have piggy banks? Any of your kids have piggy banks?
Oh, yeah.
Well, okay. But your kids won't have piggy banks.
You're probably right. And I'm not going to be here for that. So I'm.
That's a very self-centered and broken way of looking at things there, Shadow.
Hey, there's only so much I can do. I'm one guy, I spout my conspiracy theories, a couple of channels. Hopefully those won't get deleted after I'm gone. Oh shit, my camera's not even on. Make sure you guys know it's actually me and not the man talking for me.
My man.
I don't know. I think we're at kind of like a crossroads right now. that things can go one of two ways, and inevitably, all of the things we worry about will probably come to pass when it comes to AI and cybernetics.
I think because it's new, and I mean, and just with you, Shadow, you seem to be guarded. I'm the same way. I get guarded with these brand new grandiose ideas and shit or whatever. I want to see how it works before I do anything. But it's just like it just becomes so commonplace, and the world hasn't gone into a nuclear holocaust yet.
Yeah.
There aren't like this. Everyone's not getting chipped. Not all. It's not happening quite yet.
Yeah.
So I mean, maybe it won't.
Qualify that.
I just put the IMDb link to that episode of The Other Limits.
Awesome.
I'll check that out tonight.
I'll find it on streaming later.
Yeah, season 3, episode 5.
Okay, thanks, man. Yeah, I wasn't sure if anybody remembered that. I always picture myself being kind of like in that position, one way or another, before I'm, deemed obsolete.
Well, it's like cell phones. How many years did you guys hold off getting a smartphone before?
Oh, I held off for like a decade.
I held off until I couldn't find a dead. When they got rid of the analog network, about 10 years ago?
Yeah, but you didn't buy a flip phone. They were still available.
Well, like digital.
They won't run on a digital network.
Yeah.
Well, look at TV. It's all HD.
You can still get flip phones.
You get Rabbit Air's antenna on your roof and pick up a television channel anymore. It's all
HD. Actually, there are pirate channels out there.
Okay, there's always going to be an exception. Oh. There's always going to be someone doing it.
It's just so story.
I mean, I don't know.
You aren't getting channel 3. That's for fucking sure.
That's it.
Right.
Sorry, Rick. Us Canadians, it's channel 7.
It's like with the phone. I never bought a cell phone. You know how I have a cell phone? Mel bought me a cell phone. Someone else will do the tech for you. I mean, you may never do it, but your job will give it to you, or your wife will give it to you, or your kids will give it to you, or you need it to, do this, whatever.
Prayers.
They get you something.
You'll be walking around one day and notice that everybody's having no problem with it, and you'll be like, whatever.
But, it's like I'm a big advocate, like that everybody should have access to like government stuff, right? So like if you're a citizen, like you got to think like these 90-year-olds living right now, they may not have computers, they might not have cell phones, but it doesn't mean they're not a citizen. So like there has to be some sort of system that allows people to gain access to what they're supposed to. If it isn't, like when we went and got our marriage license, you had to go to their website to fill out the paperwork. You could not fill out the paperwork in person. But I'm saying like, well, what if I don't have a computer? What if I don't have a cell phone? We have form. Exactly. There's a means to do it, but you just got to go through the process to say, I don't have any means of doing this. And then some companies like employment, when I was looking for work, you gotta apply all online, dude. There's no fucking face-to-face interviews anymore. It's all online, or you fill out forms. And then they're like, well, what if I don't have a computer or phone or whatever? And go to the library. Go to the library.
And they're probably not going to hire you also.
Exactly.
But you know what's funny?
So
believe it or not, a lot of the richest people out there, mind you, they're also a lot of the oldest people out there. They don't have cable. They don't have the internet. I don't know how they get things done.
Their assistants do.
Still do.
A
buddy of mine who's going to remain nameless works in a particular field where he has to deal with these people, and they don't have it. These big, the biggest of houses that you could imagine, not necessarily mansions, but mansions also. They just, none of it. Maybe they know something.
They know something we don't. So.
Or you know what it could be? It could be a 90-year-old farmer.
It
might be a 90-year-old farmer that doesn't need the internet because he's just he's roasting chestnuts on his campfire and he's looking at the stars. He doesn't need the internet. He never has it. He never had it. So why does he?
But if he was playing Traveler, would he play a robot PC?
Probably, and probably be the most authentic at it too.
Hell yeah, it would.
Beep, boop boop.
Beep bop doop boop.
If he was playing Rifts, would he play a robot?
Amen, Dean. Yeah. Amen. So what's up, Jackie? What do you think about robots?
They're cool sometimes.
They're cool sometimes. Okay.
And they're not trying to kill you.
Or take your germs.
Yeah. Or take our women and our job.
You know what? You know what the scariest thing I've heard, and also the weirdest thing I've heard, is over in Japan. They're actually working on not just the female robots, but female robots that can actually give birth.
Okay, listen, Japan is like a whole other dimension. You can't equate Japan to anybody else but Japan. So let's just get that first in there.
Right. But has anybody heard that besides me?
Yeah, artificial wombs have been.
Yeah, you talk about it all the time.
Right, I know, but I wonder if I'm the only one seeing these videos.
Here's the fun thing about it. Any cell in your body can be hollowed out into an ovum, but only us dudes got seed.
Yeah.
So Adam and Steve can have a kid, but
well, if that's a thing, you guys probably, not all of you, maybe some of you guys remember the great TV show Space Above and Beyond.
Oh yeah.
You know,
the nipple necks, the tanks.
Yeah, exactly. The tanks. Yeah. Where I foresee that we're going to find that things like Ancestry.com, who now own the copyright to all those people's DNAs, and that sort. I don't even know if that's true, but something like that, where we're going to see a potentially an alternate. Sort of like Alien and with their androids and the replicants from Blade Runner, that we might see something or companies trying to go that route. Basically making biological robots.
Biological robots. Or biological Monsanto copyright.
Well, right. Monsanto's was the initial funder for Blackwater. The mercenary group,
right? That's why I mentioned it, Sean, because of that reason, and because of the cultural issues they've put themselves in. They're looking at men being able to have children and not get raked over the coals in divorce court and custody court and things like that. What if that leads to
But you can also, that's not every necessary. Like Russia's birth weight is tanked, and they don't have any of that fucking far left kind of shit. China's birth weight is tanked. They don't have all that far left shit.
I blame all the.
It's just a social, corn. I
don't know. The Russian birth rate's gone up in the last 5 years.
No, it's
in the last 5 years.
Europe's dying out. Japan's dying out. China's dying out. America is about equal, and you know why? Because all the Hispanic, all the immigrants are having children. But like the traditional Americans,
only their first generation, man. Only the arrivals.
As soon as they're assimilated into American culture, everything goes downhill.
It changes. That's right. It's the influx of the first migrants that come in. They have the kids like they would have back in South, back wherever they came from. But when they get Americanized or westernized or whatever it is, then it starts to revert. They don't have as many kids. They don't want to, they want to go on those trips or buy those cars or do whatever the fuck they want to have kids.
Well, of course, Russia has the largest birth rate in Europe because they're one of the few countries that haven't completely embraced antinatalism and that sort of thing.
Yeah, and they're actually doing things to reverse and the low birth rate in Russia was a byproduct of the Soviet regime, the during and post-Soviet.
Yeah,
the Soviets had to do.
To be honest, any modern society is going to have a lower birth rate.
Yeah,
because you do not need children to take care of the farm. it becomes a burden after a level. I mean, when you have so many kids, that burden is bad. You don't have the money. You can't afford them. So it's not like we gotta have 15 kids because we gotta run this damn ranch. It's not like that anymore. You know, we can only have a couple kids because we love them, and we go put them in college, and But if we have 18 kids and we live in New York City,
we all need to have 15 kids to maintain our civilization, motherfucker.
All right, I'm gonna duck out.
I'm gonna take off for some dinner here. So talk to you guys later.
Goodbye.
All right.
Hey, it's robot manufacturing, okay?
Talk about robots.
Hey, I didn't switch the topic.
Some cultures or countries or corporations are going to embrace one thing, but others, like within the Alien and Blade Runner continuum, other companies, etc., whatever you want to call it, I see maybe looking at another route. I can see where
the root of the book, I mean, the Philip Dick book, was massive population die-offs that caused the building of robots. That's why he had to buy a robot sheep because he couldn't get a real sheep.
Yeah.
Well, just think about if you're starting to colonize off planet, you're talking other planets. You need a shitload of people to go to those other planets because those planets don't have an indigenous population to work it. So they got to take from Earth, send them up there to work it. So it's like you have that huge exodus of workforce leaving Earth to begin with. And
congratulations, you colonized yourself.
It's true. It's true. And then then all those jobs that those people were filling are no longer fillable. You got to figure out something to fill it. So be it robots, be it computers, be it whatever.
Well, there was large automation, and I think in Android's Dream of Electric Sheep, the whole point of that was environmentalists' greed. It was like pollution and stuff. Yeah.
Which that's a factor. I mean, if the Earth is going to die off,
the depopulation. That's what's making the sex bots, right? I mean, it's an answer to a social question that has other answers.
Well, it's true. It's
like back traditional families, whatever. Made it so that that third wave feminism became more permissive for men and women to live together and traditional relationships, so that men would not go after robot sex instead. And I don't want to get political.
Yeah.
That's the thing. Okay. It's like if you can't afford children, if you can't afford to feed your children,
that's policy
too. It shouldn't be expensive to have children.
It might be to a level.
We need to make it.
You just can't have kids; they're too fucking expensive. And
but that's a social problem. Like you're just repeating yourself.
That's not. I mean,
it's a social and economic problem, and there are social and economic solutions.
That don't involve having robots.
A big metal fleshlight that talks to you sometimes.
Well, no, if
I don't know. I got a significant other. I'd still go for a metal fleshlight that talks to us.
Well, just think of there are some positive aspects. I mean,
there are zero positive aspects.
No.
Have you ever talked to a woman?
Imagine, imagine, in the medical profession, hospice care workers and things like that.
AI will put me out of work in 10 years. AI will put doctors out of work in 20 years.
Right.
I mean, right now,
work because my technical abilities will be replaced like McDonald's workers. They'll have one person that pushes around the kiosk that has all the nursing skill in it, and an unskilled person will do all of the human contact. Yeah. And they'll pay that person a quarter to a third what I'm making right now.
What happens when they can make sufficiently passing androids, robots, whatever you want to call it, that can do everything. That they can help them with all their needs, not just diagnosing and everything. The original ideas for robots was to bring them to have the robots, have the machines do the things that are dangerous or that we don't want to do.
They're already starting to automate the auto docks, right? Those big like octopus things that they have with the surgical equipment.
Oh,
they're
really?
already they already exist, but they would have teleoperators before. They're already starting to automate those for heart surgery and stuff like that.
Well, they kind of do that anyway. Don't they just put all the cameras inside the body, and then the doctor's kind of he's not actually in there anymore. He's just got like instruments that penetrate the skin.
And now they're starting to remove the doctor from that end of the thing. It's just a program. Like it's very in its early stages, but my mom has a friend who just went in for something and the doctor nicked the wrong artery by accident. Robot's not going to do that.
Yep.
Well, not eventually, but at first there's probably going to be a lot of that.
Well, yeah, there'll always be some sort of curve.
No, they won't, Shadow, because they're not going to let the robots do it until the robots are sufficiently good at it.
Yeah,
that's true because they'll lose money
and patience.
Well, the robots will be there as the initial with real doctors standing by in case anything goes wrong for the first few decades of that, right? But
I see if robots become prevalent in a society, in a world, I can see people just having a couple kids because they just want to have a couple kids, have a family, whatever. But I think jobs are going to be harder, scarcer to get. It's going to be more high mental kind of jobs are going to be the paying job. The physical jobs aren't going to be around anymore because they'll just be replaced with automation and robotics.
Yeah. But yeah, it's like Shadow wrote it here in the thing, UBI, Universal Basic Income, which is basically Star Trek.
I didn't know what that was. I didn't know what.
Yeah, the Libertarian Party is pushing for that, and the reason for it is they're saying that instead of having welfare, the government's going to do this shit anyway. So why don't we just make it more efficient? Just give everybody a fucking wage and get rid of all welfare.
It's basically Star Trek, right? Like you live in the you're getting your food ration that's well above your basic income. You're getting your assured shelter, and then everything else is artistic endeavor.
Well, I don't know what WALL-E is. Is that a TV show?
You never seen the movie WALL-E?
Pixar sort of cartoonish thing.
You should watch WALL-E.
It's like a robots movie or something.
Yeah, it's about a little robot. He's trying to come on to this other robot chick. but it's like a little like R2-D2 robot, right? It's like a little cutesy robot.
Oh, okay.
And then there's like a bunch of fat people in a starship.
Of course.
Yeah.
But yeah, military robots. I mean, those are around now. I mean, I see them just getting more. I don't know if they'll ever be like infantry. I see vehicle robots. Why
would you need stormtrooper robots when you can have tanks?
Exactly, and then even not even they don't have to be big tanks. They can just be small, the size of a fucking a wagon.
Yeah, well, it's like the Russians
and shit.
The Russians have a tank drone. It's about the size.
Yeah, the Americans have a tank drone too. It hasn't been deployed. They're still doing all the most of the major countries.
I think the Russians one is further along. I've seen video of it in action.
Yeah, but it runs on vacuum tubes.
Huh?
But it runs on vacuum tubes.
Well, that's the thing with Russian military hardware is it's not built out of it's not doing the same thing. Have you seen
an aircraft carrier?
Yeah, it
doesn't matter. The
aircraft it runs on coal.
So what? The aircraft carrier platform has been obsolete for 30 years.
Whoa! Wait a minute.
Yeah.
Like literally, the aircraft carrier is a symbol of imperial wealth, and
Dude,
nothing
it
more.
is like the most versatile weapons platform
There's
on the
not a
planet.
weapons platform better in the world than a carrier strike group.
Yeah.
It's not just
project its
a
power
carrier,
anywhere.
and an Ohio class submarine, and a couple of Los Angeles class submarines, and 30 or 40 destroyers. Arleigh Burke class, you know, a carrier group is a monstrous thing to behold.
The group is, but I'm telling you, the carrier itself is it's an obsolete. It's a boondoggle.
No, if it's obsolete for any reason, it's because by treaty the U.S. has taken its nuclear weapons off of it.
No,
You put nuclear bombs on aircraft.
Anything with a nuclear weapon is no longer something to sneer at. But no, it's the aircraft is no longer the supremacy of localized deployment that it used to be.
Yeah, it's a no. Air superiority is still a thing.
There are still nuclear subs. He's referring to on aircraft carriers.
They took the nuclear weapons off of aircraft carriers officially.
Yeah.
Officially.
If you think that's the actual reality, I got a bridge.
I don't know.
You might be interested
but
in.
I'm just saying. I mean,
I got some swampland in Florida.
If you ask anyone in an aircraft carrier from a sailor, what they call it, entered apprentice, all the way up to an admiral, they'll tell you that there are no nuclear weapons on aircraft carriers.
Well, that doesn't mean that they can't be deployed on it. It doesn't take much to send a nuke over to an aircraft carrier to be deployed.
Well, I don't know. Your Navy doesn't have missile colliers at the moment.
Missile what?
Colliers, deployers, like the ship that brings missiles to the fleet.
Oh, I'm sure they do.
No, they decommissioned them all. Never.
There's also helicopters
and never commissioned a new model because they didn't know what the next generation of missiles would look like, so it just kept getting delayed.
Yeah, so we need to talk to Nerd. She's been on that shit. She's been like in the fray of that kind of stuff.
It doesn't matter. They're still obsolete. They look cool. They're super hot, but they're still obsolete.
I honestly don't know. I think that there's probably a lot going on with those things that we don't know about. But I also know there's a lot of aircraft being developed. Nobody's, discontinuing aircraft development. And I think as time goes by, we're going to see crazier and crazier aircraft that makes those things still.
I seriously think everything's going to just be missiles in the future. You're just going to you don't need to deploy aircraft to deploy missiles. You can just shoot a missile from your home, wherever.
From my home, yeah.
Wherever,
I've got a silo in the backyard just waiting for my next.
And you're like, okay, I'm sick of Justin's shit. Plug in the coordinates, and you just shoot a fart missile at Justin's house. There you go, buddy. But no, I think it'll be like that.
Don't worry, I've got odor dome, deodorant dome.
But someone had mentioned
you can watch your fart missile all you want. I got deodorant dome.
But I think Omen says something like it's the technology for it to maintain. Like, can we maintain this level of technology?
It's 84% effective.
I mean,
on paper.
It's just like, it's like the whole, I bring up Warhammer 40,000. Technology is so mysterious that it's become like a cult upon itself, right? I think it's getting to that level now. It's like, I don't know how all this tech shit works. And if you're talking super tech stuff, there's only a small cadre of people who know how it actually fucking works and to keep maintaining it at that level.
So how do these things affect your RPGs?
I'm talking about having robots in games.
But you're not talking about having robots in games. You're talking about a nuclear weapon.
Get your ass back here, sport.
Yeah, no one's talked over him. He just hasn't said anything.
No, it's like
no,
it's
I know.
Well,
I know.
You're talking about role-playing game. You're talking about robots in your games, right? It's like, at what level are they going to be like the tech? what level of sci-fi tech are you talking about? I mean, are these robots? Are they going to be able to make? Is it just going to be like a boxed robot, like a Star Trek robot that beeps and whistles and shit? Or is it going to be
I
like?
don't have robots in my game, really. I'm asking you.
I don't play sci-fi. Except your
I don't know. I still see like an intimidation factor, and still the cool factor of having the humanoid robots in our games, in our stories. What was the name of the upgrade? Not RoboCop, but the other one.
iRobot.
That second robot that was in RoboCop. The big back looking thing. What was that called?
Kane.
Was that what it was called?
Yeah.
He was like a serial killer. No, but like
no, he was a drug dealer.
Or drug dealer.
Ed 209 was the security guard robot from.
That's the one I meant. The Ed 209.
Oh yeah,
that wasn't a cyborg. It was.
That's just a mech with a couple of chain guns on its arms.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah. Well, that's kind of what I was trying to get back to. Is that having like the Ed 209.
I love
just isn't as cool. It wasn't as cool, you know what I mean, as having legions of, or even scores of, stormtrooper bots or something to that effect. There's just something more personal and like I said earlier, intimidating. I think
in a sci-fi universe, I could easily see it going like Judge Dredd in 2000 AD, where it comes full circle and the robots become obsolete. And they take all their war bots and they put them in mothballs because they don't need robots anymore.
I loved that robot from the original.
Yeah.
Well, that robot was in a lot of the those robots were in a lot of the comics.
Yeah, those were the like military robots.
Yeah.
They just became obsolete because they're not waging war anymore. So they just
what is that?
Goofy.
Is that like a spider head?
You can't hear a word you're saying, bro.
Yeah, it's the tubes. It sounds impressive in person, but you can't hear it over the computer. Yeah. It does make the voice sound kind of weird.
What was that robot called?
I don't know. It worked perfectly fine for me before you cut it, so...
No, don't put that on me.
We have to.
I was going to suck out your brain.
Yeah. You're Cthulhu now.
That's it. Shadowlu.
It looks like something out of Mad Max.
Does that hurt your head at all?
Yeah. Well, not really. How about now? Can you hear me, folks?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Does that sound weird as hell? Because it sounds weird on the inside.
It's covering too much of your mouth.
Yeah.
So is this weird underneath?
Drill some holes right in the middle, like around the mouth. Probably hear it better.
Yeah.
Yeah, you'll get to see more of that soon, I think.
Brian, there's a really good bust of that robot on Thingiverse.
Yeah.
No, it wasn't awful.
Actually, I had the Horizon vinyl kit back in the 90s. I think they made a vinyl kit of it, like a big one, like a 1/6 scale, I think.
Yeah,
it's badass.
Also, I just want to test.
There might be a full version out there somewhere, which I was looking for because I'd love to have that.
If I see one, I'll let you know. Well, you remember what it's called? I don't remember what it's called.
Yeah,
it has a name, like a person's name or some shit.
If I were to just I would just pour hot glue all over it.
Oh, I would kick your ass.
Forever.
No, I would end up having to take it off.
It's the ABC Warrior.
Yeah.
ABC Warrior.
Yeah.
I think we're good.
There's that. There's the
It does seem to have some sticking
kid I had right there. He's like pointing his hand, shooting.
You might want to touch that up, but nobody's going to see it.
Yeah, I still.
You don't put any paint here, though.
No, I'm not.
That's cool.
Because it helps.
It's a cool looking robot.
Yeah.
Here's something for you guys. The whole sci-fi trope of like wanting to humanize the appearance of robots. Do you think that's something for real? You think
it's a psychological thing, and also
just paint the edges.
The benefits of it is you don't have to like create specialized infrastructure to move them around.
right by their sink.
Like everything is already the right shape for them to walk through. And
sorry, guys.
Yeah.
And you start dealing with the the phenomenon of the uncanny valley. They need to be either superhuman-like or not human-like at all. But if they're that in-between place, people completely tune out. Nobody wants to deal with the robot that looks almost human.
Yeah, nobody wants to deal with Greta Thunberg.
She's hot.
Is that the girl?
She looks.
Is that the environmentalist girl?
Yeah.
She's like 12. She's not hot.
Well, she's like 18 now, but you know.
But she's still. She looks like a 12-year-old boy.
Yeah. Well, she looks like something that came out of a resin mold or something.
Hey, she's a lizard people.
Yeah. That show is that shows something else.
She's a lizard people.
The Y-Files.
I think I've seen that.
Y-Files. It's got like 2 million subscribers for crying out loud.
Yeah, he went from less than 1 million to 2 million subscribers in about 6 months.
Yeah, but look at his production values, man. The guy's production values are pro.
Well, he's also getting other support. Just leave it there.
Yeah, he's got like freaking 3 million people on his Patreon for crying out loud.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you guys watch Diver's show today?
No, I haven't. I haven't been getting the notifications.
He did the math on some of these, like, you know, he's a war gamer, so some of these Warhammer people that talk about Warhammer, he was saying that these guys make like fucking $8,000 a month or some shit on their.
It depends on where they are.
And it also, I know that once you are at what do you got showing here, Justin?
Yeah, man. Everyone.
Yeah,
wants
the
to
ABC
see.
robot.
Yeah, sexy ass robot, man. Okay, you can close that.
That's not bad.
You don't like the ABC robot from Judge Dredd, the first one?
It's not bad. It's not as sexy as I would design one, but
it's supposed to be scary.
Yeah,
I think
I see a lot of. I see a lot of exposed areas that would be my targets if I was to have to deal with it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
My favorite robot is Hardware. I love that fucking movie.
Oh, the one where it's just made out of like just
whatever. It's just like his head, and then he like it builds itself back up or some shit. That was cool.
It's like a skull head or whatever.
Yeah.
It was just like, I am missing parts. I will take this.
I would just rip this out, repair itself, and build itself back. Now that's a military robot. It gets blown up, and then it just puts something back together to make it mobile and deadly again. That's that.
Exactly, Omen. Okay.
Where is Omen?
For you guys. Yeah. Here's one for you guys. What is like the highest tech style robots, maybe taken from a movie or something like that, to kind of get your idea across? Would you even allow in your games? I know with Brian, I'm going to start with you because I know you only go to a certain point in Earth history for most of your stuff because it's weird World War II. So give us an example.
In my wargaming, it would be like they're not human-like. They're not. I mean, they might be humanoid, but they're not like, androidish or whatever like that. They're usually machines, like they're machines. They usually tend to be bigger, like larger.
Yeah,
because we are in kind of like a weird, a World War II-ish era. So the micronization, the shrinking of shit isn't really at that level.
Prevalent.
Yeah. So the robots are usually bigger, but I mean, it's mostly like probably like they're machines. They're not like super smart thinking and all that kind of stuff. They're like your traditional pulp kind of robots from the serials and the pulp mags and that kind of stuff. Yeah, Iron Giant would probably be that level of like maybe that level of thinking at the very most. But the Iron Giants would probably be like the highest tech level that I wouldn't do like a bishop or something like that. That's way advanced. But yeah, for Weird World War II, that's what I would do.
How about you, Bo?
I've only done like large industrial robots so far. To say that I would not do more high tech than that, I don't know. But I kind of wanted to keep my games for the players feel sort of like a funky sci-fi gothic, like Aliens level. Maybe a little bit more than that, but I don't want to. I don't want things to be too comfortable. So to have that sort of almost like goth 40K feel to it. So I definitely wouldn't have any humanoid robots. I mean, robots with arms and hands, but not like bipedal, walking on two legs. More industrial.
You don't have sweat glands, and they,
Any of you? I've told a bunch of you to watch this before, but have any of you watched Total Recall 2070?
Yeah.
No.
The show.
Yeah. Yeah, it was an HBO show from like 99 or 98 or something like that. Yeah, I like that. I like that kind of setting. It was more like Blade Runner. It's the same as the Blade Runner universe, which I'm assuming they're both supposed to be in.
Well, the Blade Runner universe had robots. I mean, the replicants in the Blade Runner movie were they're basically androids. They were synthetic people.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing in that show, right? Like there was a bunch of those running around, and the guys. It was a cop show, a buddy cop show, and one of them was one of those, but they were trying to keep it secret. There was some mystery about like a sentient one that was trying to find itself or whatever.
The Clone Wars shit, like the
Star Wars.
Yeah, the Star Wars, like all the robots. If they didn't make those robots like fucking stupid looking, I think that's a great idea. Like these mass, like you have this small, living in, group of people that are rich and they don't have armies because that's just not what they do, and they just put all their money in these like automatons. But I don't know why they pick these like stupid, idiotic, they're.
That was Lucas, right? Lucas was still doing
you mean like the Keystone Cops sort of element to it?
Yeah, but like if they were all like those big droids that had like either the force fields around them or the big tall droids that shot out of their hands,
I think
that would be more realistic.
I get the economy of the basic droids, the droidicas, because they're like cheap, mass-produced junk. That's just supposed to be wave after wave after wave of endless,
horde tactics.
Yeah,
overwhelm them with numbers, nothing superior, just the equivalent of a basic life form.
But they didn't actually do that.
It's like, how can a robot miss a shot?
Well, it aims at you, fires, and then you move.
Well, that's different. That's different. If you're like jinxing around like crazy, but if you're just running forward towards them, there should be no reason why a targeting system about the basic you can come up with, and they're shooting lasers, right? Are there lasers? It's almost like it's just
the idea that you could dodge that is ridiculous.
Yeah. Well, not dodge. I can understand dodging, but it missing you running straight on is like
ridiculous.
Yeah, that's
now
nuts.
For me. I was
anyone with
all the robots that I've seen over the years. One of the one that impressed me the most, and mind you, I still to this day think it was a little bit ludicrous, was the T-1000s, I guess, from Terminator. The liquid metal kind of idea.
Those are nanobots, idea, right? Those are nanobots.
Yes, right.
Oh, they are?
Yeah.
The liquid one?
Yeah, that's the only thing that we can use in the current vernacular that would explain how that sort of ridiculous high-techness could come into play. Now, mind you, I'm not saying that it would never be possible. It could never happen, anything like that, because that's kind of just dumb. But for me, when I saw those, I was just like, what the hell? I mean, why even bother having them even in humanoid shape? I mean, with that kind of ability.
Well, they were infiltrators. That's why.
No, I get that. Yeah. But once the infiltration, the ruse is up, so to speak.
Oh yeah.
Why
would his default be that?
When you could just go into snakes or spiders or birds or whatever. I mean, literally any other shape would be just as effective. And why would you limit it to one shape? Why not make a horde of mini T-1000s just coming at you, instead of one guy constantly chasing you down like Michael Myers or something? Why wouldn't you just go to the now the jig is up.
It's not as dramatic. Storytelling thing.
But can you imagine if it turned into a swarm of spiders and snakes and flying creatures?
Well,
about this big.
In the TV show,
which is awful.
No, the TV show's the only.
He's one of the three.
Yeah, but that's besides the point. It's one of the three legitimate Terminator.
It's us, Justin.
No, it's not the entire point. It's one of the three legitimate Terminator projects to ever exist. Being 1, 2 in the TV show. In the TV show, the liquid metal character that was played by what's her name from Garbage. She had a part of herself. Well, I don't know her name. The redhead.
Wasn't it like Claire Danes or somebody? It wasn't Shirley Manson.
No, from the band Garbage.
Yeah, Shirley Manson.
Yeah, I don't care what her name is. Yeah, the redhead that played the liquid metal character was the lead singer from Garbage.
Was she?
Yeah. She had part of herself as a iguana in a tank in her office. So she always had an eye in that room.
I always thought that the reason it had to revert back to that is because, its body had to maintain a certain size to fit all of its, shit in it, and it couldn't
that's a reasonable presumption.
That's what I thought.
Well, there was the hybrid version from the We Don't Talk About number 3.
No, I've never seen it.
Yeah, well, good man. Don't watch it. But no, it was that size because it had to move all of itself.
Yeah.
But it could leave sections of itself places, but
that's interesting.
They don't demonstrate that in the movie because it wasn't part of the story, I guess. Whatever.
Good.
They didn't want to get too complicated, bro.
Oh, God.
Yeah, I
get
that.
Stupid to understand things like that.
Well, if it's not relevant to the story, you cut it. That's the first rule of writing a good story. Yeah. Sadly, what's his face forgot that, and then we got Avatar.
I've never seen any of that. I have no interest in watching any of that shit.
Yeah.
Are
we still live? The chat seems to be
because people start talking about real life politics and everybody bugged out.
Oh, that was a while ago.
Dude, we've been talking about robots.
Yeah.
You weren't talking about sci-fi robots.
Man.
What the fuck are you talking about? We've been talking about Terminator for 15 minutes.
We have to fall back on reality for reference points.
Your memory's short.
We've been talking about Terminator for like 15, 20 minutes, bro.
People bugged out a lot. Okay, I gotta leave. I got called upstairs.
Okay.
No worries, buddy.
Party on, bro.
Appreciate you sticking around while you did. I will see you later this weekend.
You talk shit about the ABC Warrior.
I'm working tomorrow, and I'm working until.
I did not talk shit on the ABC Warrior. The ABC Warrior is sexy as fuck.
I agree. All right. I was just trying to get the rest of this. I was trying to get the rest of this Wolverine tank put together, so I can at least have one thing done for the mini challenge.
So what do you think of the kit overall?
I'm of mixed mind. I don't like that the turret only goes like as this much movement. It's got a big hole in the back of it. I don't like that the greebles that it has on it are way too big and way too
chunky.
Well, there's too many of them. I mean, why does it have to have why does it have to have a field shovel on both sides of the treads?
Believe it or not, I think it's actually like it's supposed to be like 32 millimeter scale or something.
No, it's Shadow. It's like it's got tools everywhere. Real life tanks don't have tools, pioneering tools all over it. It's like they were afraid to put any empty space on the tank. And they've got one more problem with it. The treads aren't easy to put together. They're real chunky, which is they've been giving me kind of fits today. But
you definitely have to follow the instructions to the letter, so to speak.
There are things I like and things I don't. I think like I like the dual exhaust, the 4 exhaust pipes on it, and I like the door in the back. And I painted the inside.
Good man.
And I'm not going to put the rail on it until I paint it a different color. I want it to be black and everything else to be green or tan or gray or something. I don't know yet. But yeah, I don't like that big empty spot in the back of the turret.
The turret exhaust port.
It's only got about not even about 5 degrees of elevation.
Yeah, that wouldn't work in a real combat vehicle.
No.
I'm having fun putting. I'm definitely when I do the other one, I'm not gonna put the greebles on it. I'm gonna at least not the tools. I'm probably gonna make my own or something, or just leave it empty. And then when I do the other one, I'm definitely gonna. I was working on a driver for it, but I couldn't find any legs that would fit in it right. So, but I'm definitely gonna have a driver in the next one. So
right on. What do you think about the price that they ask? Not shipping, not included. I think it's like 30, 35 bucks.
Is it $30?
I think so.
30, 35. You said.
That's not.
I think the thing is for $35, I'd probably get like something like this Tamiya Matilda, because again, Warhammer scale is jacked up. This is a 135 scale tank, and this is a tabletop scale. They're the same freaking size.
Yeah.
I think this Wolverine's going to be wider when I get the treads on it.
Well, it makes sense. The Wolverine's supposed to be a troop transport, isn't it?
It's got like 10 seats. I've never played Starside. I don't know the rules for Starside.
Well, it's got like 10 seats on the inside.
Yeah, it does. But then, like I said, this M113 that's 135.
M113
would be again for a
about right.
Yeah, the last one of those I assembled was
Warhammer scale stuff. It's like in between. It's not really 148. It's not really 135. It's too big across some dimensions and too small across others. And I try to have this discussion with like the Warhammer people, and they look at me like I've got an extra hole in my head. And then I show them, I'm like, look, this is never mind. It's just.
Well, it's because it's meant for people in giant fucking power armor, bro.
Well, it's also meant to be played with, so everything's got to be a little bit sturdier than your typical 133 scale model.
Yeah.
Well, what I would recommend, Bo, is he sent you the other Starside set, right? With the vampires and the commissar.
What are you talking about?
I put together the commissar over here. It's a little bit reedy, kind of thin and wispy, but it was okay. I think I've got it primed over here someplace.
Shadow, at least be thankful Brian regifted it to someone else
who would care about it.
Yeah.
I didn't want to sell it. That's not cool. I don't.
No. 1 year, my grandfather asked me for a model I had, so I gave it to him. And then 2 years later, I got it back for Christmas. He totally forgot where he got it from. I'm pretty sure.
Family prayer and family scripture study. So I'll see you guys later.
All right, take care, bro. I'll see you tomorrow.
Which is good because I got my Lord of the Rings collection complete. Yeah, he wanted the Golem, so I gave it to him, but I got it back.
It's I was trying to kind of lighten the load of everything I had, and I gave up my daughter all my. She's staying with her mom right now, so I gave her all my CDs. Right?
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, and then I'm like, when Christmas came around, I'm like, man, I missed my fucking CD. Because I have hundreds of CDs, right? And I'm like, count my CDs back, baby. I love you. And she's like, oh yeah, I haven't even taken them out of the box yet. I haven't even taken them out. Looked at them. Like, oh okay, I'll take them back.
Oh,
all good.
Yeah, I'll just remember that next time we do a Secret Santa.
No, it's just, I mean, listen, man, it's not. It has nothing to do. It's just I wouldn't use it. You know what I mean? It's a sci-fi tank, and I probably would never use it.
See, I didn't really see it all that sci-fi, to be honest.
You strip off the stuff that's out of scale for what you use, and call it an experimental juggernaut.
There you go.
Yeah. Put slightly smaller turrets on the thing.
But I'm totally appreciative, Shadow. I totally appreciate it, though.
Yeah, I think you would have if you would have opened up the other box and checked out the snake men and the vampires.
I did.
Okay, they were and the Technomancer. Cool. Those were some fine ass minis. I love everything that company puts out.
So just do this. Give me the minis that James sent you. The Weird World War II shit. That'd be cool.
Actually, I'm painting some of those.
The robots?
Yeah, were they robots? I painted those guys up.
Some German robots?
Yeah, I painted them up green or blue though.
Oh, those are the he also sent you some robots, but yeah, those are like the like Folsomjäger or something, power armor or something. I have no idea.
And
why would Shadow do that? He'll just save you the money and send them directly to Bo.
No, I take those. Those are more weird.
Yeah. I'm still working on those and a bunch of other crap.
But I do got something saved. I got a whole bunch of stuff for I just haven't boxed it up yet. I got a bunch of minis that are painted. Most of them are painted up for Jackie and his crew to play their RPGs with.
Oh, that's sweet, dude.
Monsters
that's sweet.
And stuff. But here, I got this for you too. This is for you.
Oh, no way. Yeah, I love it. I've got one of the Reaper Bones versions of it, but it was already starting to droop and shit. Yeah, I love it. That's gonna go right up here, dude. And it will not
because he got killed in my campaign, my World War II campaign, so he's done. So you get rid of him.
You don't have a necromancer?
Oh yeah, I got all sorts of necromancers.
Bring him back.
Yeah.
Well, I have Dr. Cole with him when he got killed, but it's too far gone. He was killed with magical means, and that's it. You guys, all you guys out there, can watch that battle on Weird World War II.
Why would I do that?
Exactly.
You know, I just picked up. I just got in the mail today the Agent 13 from the Top Secret SI. It's a pulp novel based on the Top Secret universe from back in the 80s, but it takes place in 1930. I think you would dig it. I'm only like half a dozen pages in, but is this guy who worked for the Evil Brotherhood, during prior to the 30s as a kid, because he had special abilities, kind of like how the Shadow and Batman kind of got recruited into the thing, but then he decided to turn against them and be an agent of goodness and whatnot. And I I think you dig it.
I saw
I love the
I was
cult.
on Modiphius's page or on their Discord today, and there's a Spectra board game coming out, like the bad guys from James Bond. And I'm sitting there, and
One
you
of
play
them.
as Spectra, right? Or Spectrum? It's Spectra. It's Spectra.
Spectre.
Spectre. That's it. Spectre. And I'm like, there better be an upgrade to Blofeld, like an evil cat that gives him like special abilities as he fucking strokes it or some shit. But look, I don't know. That's kind of cool. That'd be kind of a cool like. I've never really played a James Bond like set in the James Bond universe.
I am thinking of picking up the James Bond game. I already picked up, what was it, Spies, Mercenaries, and Secret Agents, or whatever the frick it was called by Flying Buffalo. But I want to have the other games to contrast with Top Secret to see which was the superior, at least in my opinion, back in the day. Because I had it, and I let it go, and I don't even know why.
Would you consider Paranoia part of the Secret Agent genre? I mean, it's a little sci-fi, but
maybe if I was looking at it from like a The Prisoner kind of thing, it was the secret, kind of like The Island with Ewan McGregor, I think was in it. There's this place way off in the boonies, where that sort of thing was going on. But I only just started watching The Prisoner for the first time. I have no idea where that goes.
You gotta be careful with the giant bubbles, man.
It's
The
true.
giant bubbles gonna fucking get you, man.
I don't know. My dad loved it, but I never actually saw it until I started watching YouTube and found out that, oh yeah, I can watch it.
I have a poster of that in my bathroom right now. I have a Prisoner poster in my bathroom.
You guys ever watched the remake?
I do have the graphic novel from back, I think, in the 90s or so. Maybe it was a different time period. And I remember it being weird as hell.
It's weird.
I
did watch with Caviezel.
Yeah.
JC. Yeah.
With Jesus.
Jesus. Yeah. I've only watched it once when it first came out on TV. It was like a 2-parter or a 4-parter or something like that.
No, it was a whole season.
Was it a season?
Yeah.
It didn't seem that long, but I remember watching them all, and I don't think they didn't get the feeling of what The Prisoner was. I don't think from the original. I don't know.
So I'm gonna call it here in just a couple of minutes.
6 episodes.
6? Yeah, I knew it wasn't a long, because I remember watching it, and it didn't seem that long. Instead of like the Observer like sucking them up in the bubble, they got like sucked into the ground or something like that. I want to say.
Yeah.
They get sucked in the ground.
The bubble was kind of goofy. It had Haley Atwell in it. I'm gonna have to watch it.
It was okay, but it wasn't the first one was awesome. The series was great.
Yeah.
It was just so weird and.
I wanna watch that before I go any further, but I also need to get through Ice Pirates and what was the other one? Oh, UFO. And Justin let Connell know I can't make it tomorrow. Jackie has another photo shoot for his thing going on, and scheduling time to do filming like that has got to
just write it in the group chat, man. You don't need.
Yeah. No, I mean if I space it, because I'm going to go right over to Nathan's thing in just a moment or two.
Yeah.
But
so I'm waiting for Justin to say what kind of shoot is he? Is it lawn equipment?
No. You saw the mask and stuff. That's part of a costume that I'll be wearing.
Okay.
As the bad guy in his video.
he dropped the ball on that one, Justin. That would have been a good
Yeah, man. Was he doing a commercial for labor at Home Depot? The labor department at Home Depot, bro?
There it is, ladies and gentlemen. We filled all the boxes tonight.
It's always got to be a Home Depot reference, man.
Yep. So good show, guys. We'll talk about AI next week. I got some of my inner questions answered with talking to you guys tonight. I personally think that in one form or another, robots are going to be a big part of military conflicts as well as everyday life.
I'm
Going
surprised
forward.
we haven't seen robots in the level of like, was it Runaway? Remember with
Gene Simmons and Tom
Selleck? I mean,
I hated that movie so much.
Oh, I fucking love that movie. That's a great one.
I liked everything about that movie except the very end when he, for whatever reason, didn't want to kiss the blonde chick but had to anyways. That was like the worst,
What year was it made? What year was it made?
It was just awful. You could just tell he's just
early 80s, I think.
Okay, so maybe if it had been 5 years later, because there was that really cheap period between like 72 and 83 that it doesn't matter what came out, and like anything produced in Hollywood during that time period looks like it was made on a fucking camcorder in someone's backyard. No matter how high the budget was, if it wasn't Star Wars specifically, it looked like Ted filmed it in his garage.
The 70s were like,
you know what though?
Looking.
The pistol that Gene Simmons had in that movie was freaking amazing. We're probably not even far from that actual technology.
You know those drones that were following in the car chase? Remember the like little like drones that were homing in? Yeah, the Seekers or whatever. That was fucking cool.
Yeah, but you know what I mean? Like everything just looks like some guy made it on less than $5s of dollars.
Well, wait till you see the robots in Ice Pirates. They're great.
Oh yeah, but that's like a comedy though, right?
Yeah,
like,
it's true. It's a comedy.
It's got that not trying to be serious vibe.
Yeah,
you can look over that and that kind of thing. Well, when it comes to something trying to be serious, you gotta like not make it out of corrugated cardboard.
Yeah, you gotta use cosplay foam and vacuum cleaner tubes.
Yeah, and then I was gonna say the what is it, the lint hose from your dryer cannot be used in the arms of your robots.
No.
Yeah. Or the next
those were Mobius, the Seeker balls. Or
Seeker's great.
Yeah, that was a weird movie.
The second one was the best. The second one was my favorite.
It was pretty creepy.
The second one, what?
Phantasm.
Oh yeah. The chromed golf balls.
Yeah.
But they opened up and had things come out of them like a fucking Swiss Army knife.
Yeah, like drills and blades and all sorts of shit. Yeah, it's a cool concept. Yeah, but like I've watched them all, Ravager, and like I think there's like 5 or 6 of them. I've seen them all.
Oh yeah,
it really goes off the rails. I love Bannister and I love the store. I mean, the Tall Man and all that, but it really kind of
at the end they just go to like some abandoned town and film, and it's like post-apocalypse and there's no one around because they've all been taken.
Yeah, and I don't know. And he's in that loony bin, and you're not sure if it was all real, if it was all in his head, or what.
You know the second one?
No, that was like the 5th or 6th one.
I think there are only 4.
Yeah, there was a lot of them.
Yeah. Well, the last one was made around 2011 or something like that.
Yeah, it wasn't too long ago. I mean, well, I guess it was. Yeah, it's in the 2000s for sure.
That's what I get for not watching cable, I guess. No commercials.
No. There was no commercials.
None of this shit got to the
No, what I mean is commercials for advertising.
No, there were none.
No movie trailers, things like that.
There wasn't one.
No,
really?
No, there are only 4 of them.
Trailer. You can find a trailer of it on like YouTube or some shit, but you're never gonna see it on TV or anything.
Yeah, 2016 was the last one.
Yeah, I agree. I really like the first one. It's the feel, the mood, and all that.
I like the second one the best.
Yeah, I like the second one the best too. And that's where they got the money. They got like they were going to make a franchise of it, and they get a whole shit ton of money for the second one, and that's why it was so good.
What's up, buddy?
Coscarelli is the guy who wrote it and directed. One of his other movies I love is Bubba Hotep. That's a great one. If you guys have never seen Bubba Hotep, watch that. No. It's fantastic. It's about Elvis in a retirement home in Texas with his roommate JFK, which has been turned into a black man. And it's fucking hilarious. It's great.
Yeah, and then a mommy tries to kill him all.
What do you want? I don't understand. Timmy's stuck in the well.
That's one.
Oh.
He's trying to tell me something. It's crazy.
He's like, Jackie's in a well? Huh?
No, it just sounds like it with the tubes in the front of his mouth. It's not actually in a well, boy.
Yeah, Mobius. Bubba Hotep is great. That's probably in my top 10 too. Bubba Hotep.
Now, the question I have is: do you think A. Michael Baldwin was called Mike because he couldn't remember the name of his character, so they just changed it to his name?
Is that the kid?
Yeah. The main character.
I thought he was a genius.
What?
Like he wanted me to open a specific door for him. Yeah. Yeah, he'll be back in like 5 minutes. But I'm going to end it here, guys. Thanks. This was a lot of fun. Don't go anywhere because we're going to talk to you.
Okay.
Well, no, not really. Well, maybe, but I'm going to do the other thing.
Yeah.
But I do want to talk to you guys after this, just about something. So don't go anywhere. Everybody out there in TV land, thanks for playing along with us tonight. This was a lot of fun. Like I said, we'll talk about AIs tomorrow. And if you guys, if you got any suggestions or things you'd like to hear us, talk about with sci-fi, I am kind of going somewhere with this. And as you guys know, I try to incorporate a lot of these ideas into my upcoming games because I do have a sci-fi campaign I plan on running this year. And so this is actually a lot of help.
First Sunday of every month will be sci-fi game night. Maybe.
I don't know because Rick's not going to be running the game that I was going to be in on Sunday. But you two guys will be joining me tomorrow night over on Discord for the beginnings of my D&D game. And
what time is that at?
It depends on dinner. I wanted to do it at 4, which would be
6 for us or me,
right? Because I know it's a Sunday night. That's kind of a rough ask for some people, but it's probably going to be more like 5 o'clock because I do have to have dinner with Jackie and everything.
So no, I just got to do the math. It's 11:30 for me now. So what time is it for you?
8:30.
It's 10:30 for me.
Yeah, so that'll be 1 o'clock-ish or 2 o'clock-ish if you're doing 5. Oh, I gotta put it on. There's a delay here.
No, it'll be 6 or so for you.
6? Oh.
Yeah, you're an hour ahead of him.
No. If it's 8 o'clock for him right now, and it's 11 for me.
Oh, 11. My bad. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh man, you're way out there.
Yeah. Normally we end the show at midnight. Okay,
all right,
party on, everybody.
We'll see you guys next week, if not sooner. Thanks for stopping by, and as always, guys, have a great week and happy trails.
Yeah, party on.
Keep it weird.
Taco Bell.